Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
If you're gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there, my fabulous listener. Welcome to episode 269 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices of things to listen to, things to do, and things to put in your ears, but I do appreciate you making me and my podcast one of them. I do appreciate you sticking with me over the last couple of weeks while I have been very under the weather with a respiratory infection. But hopefully my voice will stand up today and it sounds a little bit cheery than what it did last week, which I was a little bit sad that my voice sounded so sad on last week's podcast. But thank you for joining me again this year. I just wanted to update you because, these things excite me. I hope they excite you just a little bit. But my book is currently on a freight truck coming to my house. I'm very excited. Watch my socials. I'm sure that truck video will end up on the social somewhere, but my book is printed and it is on its way. I really want to thank everyone who has supported me and pre-ordered the book already. I can't wait to get you your copy. But if you too want a signed first edition copy, then head to my website and get one from there. Of course, my website is socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. And that's exactly where you can find the show notes as well. socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/269. Did you get a chance to listen to last week's episode? I have a really great guest on, Janine Hunter, and we talked all about her thoughts and ideas and experiences when it came to networking. It was a really great conversation. If you haven't listened to that one, then head back there when you have finished with this episode today, because today we are talking about 2024. And you might be thinking, Jen, it is way too early to be talking about 2024, but I think differently. I think it is the perfect time to be talking about 2024. I'm already gearing up for 2024. I'm thinking about my marketing, my leads, my business model, my income streams, what assets I need to create to make all of that happen. My business right now is going through an overhaul in the background. I'm building things like courses and new lead magnets. I'm retiring programs and retiring lead magnets that I have had for years and years and years. I'm also attempting a bit of a rebrand, but not one necessarily that you might notice. But I know that it's happening. And maybe eventually you will too. Maybe it'll just sneak up on you and you'll be like, oh, I didn't see that coming, Jen. Anyway, just, a few things happening in the background of my business. And you might be like me and you might be starting to wind down over the next 6 weeks, or you might be totally opposite and 100% winding up for the next 10 weeks or so over summer. Either way, I would really encourage you, maybe just no, maybe even if it's just for the next 10 or 15 minutes while you listen to this podcast, to put your thinking hat on as to what 2024 is going to look like for you. Of course, if you want to dig a little bit deeper, um, and plan more around next year, I do have my 2-hour virtual planning session on next Tuesday, the 21st of November, and you are super welcome to come and join in on that. It's only $37 a ticket, and you get 2 hours, not just with me, but with yourself. Working on your business, like that has got to be worth it just for the 2 hours to say, for 2 hours, I'm actually going to work on myself, on my business, and get out a plan for 2024. Times like that, spending time on your business is invaluable. Of course, you can get a ticket by going to my website and going to the shop, or the link, of course, is in the show notes if you're interested in doing that. So, why think about 2024 already? Well, for me, I think there's a couple of compelling reasons why you need to. And the first of which, and I really do think that maybe I need to do a bit of a live stream, like a bit of a webinar on this. So maybe watch my socials over the next few weeks as I maybe try and find some time in the diary to do a whole, webinar live session on this because I think 2024 is going to be different. And I will say it, I think it's going to be a difficult year. I think if you're the type of business owner who has swanned your way through business until now without a plan, without a strategic marketing plan, without building your community as you go, next year will be rough, potentially really rough. We have an AI freight train heading our way, which is going to change the way we do business. It'll change the way we show up. It'll change the way we interact with our community. It'll change the way our community interacts with us and potentially whether or not they buy from us. Now, just a bit of a side note on this whole AI freight train, hey AI thing. I'm not the expert when it comes to AI, but my amazing friend Tracy Sheehan, the digital guide, is. And I cannot recommend highly enough that you register for Tracy's free webinar on AI and you in 2024, which is happening on Thursday, the 7th of December. If you're interested in what AI is going to look like in 2024 and how it's going to disrupt your business potentially or disrupt your customers potentially, then sign up for this free webinar with Trace. And, she'll go through it all in 60 minutes. You, of course, can find the link in my show notes at socialmediamarketing.com.au/269, or just go to somewhere like Facebook and look up Tracy Sheehan, the digital guide, and I'm sure it will be pinned to the top of her social media posts. It's free and it would be awesome for you to watch and to listen in. And yes, Tracy will record it if you can't watch it live. So just register so you get that recording. So potentially with AI changing the way we do business, the way we make sales, the way we show up, again, it really makes it so much more important that we plan this stuff, that we know what is coming, what is happening, and we have a plan in place. So, my second point, because it's going to be a rough year for some or most, it's time to really double down on your marketing. I'm serious. I'm really serious. When times are tough, the absolute worst thing you can do for your business is take your foot off the marketing throttle. In fact, I think you should be pushing harder on the marketing throttle and do more marketing. When things get tough, when things get rough, it's time to go, radio. Let's look at our marketing because this is what's going to get us from where we are today to where we want to be, which potentially is out of the hole that has been created because of no marketing or lack of strategic marketing. Now, I'm involved in many Facebook groups, and I'm sure if you've listened to this podcast for a little while, I often find things in Facebook groups that I make lives out of, or I make podcasts out of, or I write blogs out of, because it's what my people are talking about. But I often find myself also yelling at the screen. When people start to post in these Facebook groups, and particularly lately, there is a lot of talk about business going bad. Now, I'm not talking about all people here, clearly, but some. Some people are talking about the fact that, business is going badly for them. And for some people, I don't yell at them. For some people, or for all people, I have a lot of empathy and sympathy. But some people, I do actually think to myself, you know what? I could help. If you reached out, I could help. Or if you reached out to an expert, they could help. Now, I get a little bit curious when it comes to people who write things in Facebook groups, especially one that I've just seen recently that's like, this is my worst month yet. Sales are down, and I don't know how I'm going to survive the rest of the year out. Now, They got lots of suggestions, lots of sympathy, and lots of empathy because there are a lot of people out there in the same boat. But my curiosity as a marketer, as much as I have empathy and sympathy, also switches the marketer on. The switches the marketer on in me, and I start doing some digging. I stalk them, I find out what their business is, and quite often it's in the post as well because, they're like, "Oh, worst month ever." Well, what's the name of your business? Send me your link so that I can have a look at it. And, "Oh, I love your products. I'll purchase your products." Which is absolutely fantastic if you can get sales out of a post like that. Um, but, so I don't have to look far, I don't have to stalk far, but I do start to do some digging around. When I find out their business name, I'll have a look at their socials. If they have an email list, I'll join that, and see what comes out. I'll have a look at their transparency part of their Facebook, where you can see what ads they are actually running. Yes, that's a thing. You can go to anybody's social media and have a look under transparency, or anyone's social media, anyone's Facebook, and have a look under transparency, and you can see if they're running ads. And I'll also have a look at perhaps Google Shopping or have a look at their Google presence. Um, and just get a bit of an idea as to what their marketing looks like. Because if this is their worst month yet and sales are down, then I want to know, well, what marketing are they doing? What marketing are they doing to pull themselves out of this hole and create more sales? And I can tell you, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, that most aren't marketing their business with much gusto at all, barely on social media. If it is, it's always around a sales strategy and no other strategies employed. Basically, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. They're mostly on Instagram, which is the worst platform for trying to get sales and driving traffic to your website, in my opinion. And sometimes they don't even have a website, just socials. They've never run a paid ad that I can see. Their Google presence is hard to find. And again, almost always, I have no idea who the business owner is, what their name is, or of course, what they stand for. They're not showing up for their community. They are not marketing themselves. Now, it sounds really harsh, and I do kind of apologize for that. But the reality is, business is tough. It's time to get serious about people's marketing. It's time to double down on your marketing. But so many business owners go completely the other way and simply expect perhaps that they can do what they've always done, and, that traffic will find them and sales will come in. Rather than doubling down on their marketing, when things get tough, they stop marketing, which, as I said before, is the worst possible thing that you can do. I also see it in bricks and mortar stores often as well. It's kind of like, I've got my doors open, where is everyone? It's just like, you still have to do some marketing. Just because your door's open doesn't mean people are going to come through. Just like a website, just because you build a beautiful website doesn't mean that people are going to find you and buy from you. Now, I haven't taken into consideration someone's mindset here. And when the going gets tough, it is tough to pull yourself out of whatever you're in, brush yourself off and try again and to try something different. I get that. I really do. And I'm trying not to come off too harsh, but the reality is that I know marketing can help these people, and they're not doing their marketing. And in 2024, if you're not brushing yourself off, if you aren't prepared to do something different, that is something different with your marketing, because remember, nothing changes if nothing changes, you just might find it to be a really tough year. Marketing, it's just not something that I talk about because I think it works. It's something I yell about from top of the mountains because I know it works. So it's time to get serious about your marketing. What does your marketing look like for 2023? What does it look like for 2024? How are you going to up the ante? What how are you going to put more time aside to do more marketing, or to do just more strategic marketing in 2024 to make next year the year that you want it to be, the year that it could be? If you want to stand out from the crowd next year, keep going with your marketing because I can guarantee you that when the going gets tough, people stop marketing. So if you are one of the ones that keep marketing, you will stand out from the crowd. So off my marketing high horse, and another thing that I think actually relates to both my points above is that we continue to chase the next sale. And if you are continuing to chase the next sale in 2024 and not remarket to past customers, past visitors to your website or to your socials, and you're not building a community around you, 2024 could be painful. First I'd say, you've got to get serious about your marketing in 2024, but then I'd say you have to get serious about building a community. Stop thinking about having an audience or followers. An audience is something you talk at. Followers are people who follow you and you've got your back to them. No one wants that. People want to feel like they belong. They want to feel like you care about them. They want to feel like you appreciate their time, their money, and that they do business with you. And so it's time to build a community that not, so has a community is surrounding you. If you imagine yourself in a community, you're surrounded by people. You're not necessarily the hero there. They get value from other people in your community. And so it literally becomes a community. This is what we want in 2024. We don't want an audience that we stand there and talk at. We don't want followers who we follow with our back turned to them. We want to create community. And when I say 2024 is going to be tough, I'm not really telling you this um, to upset you or to scare you. And I don't think I'm telling you anything new. I think you know that 2024 is going to be tough. It's kind of written in the tea leaves. It's not something that I'm predicting, it's something that is being predicted. I'm watching it. I'm watching the economics. I'm watching, the e-commerce statistics. I'm watching the commerce statistics. It's just written in the tea leaves. So, you've got opportunities, and they're the things I want you to start looking out for. They're the things that, you need to start looking for and planning for, because I want you to look back in 12 months' time and say, I smashed 2024 because I made marketing a priority. I made creating a community a priority. And I also invested in myself. Investing in yourself and investing in your business plays a huge part on successes during the year. This year, I've invested more than $30,000 in myself and in my learning and in my business, and I'll do it all again happily in 2024. Um, I'll invest more money in traveling to go to seminars that I want to learn from people, and doing online programs because I want to better my skills. So how much have you invested in yourself this year? How much have you invested in 2023? And what does 2024 look like for you? You really do need to, if you're the business owner, you need to invest in yourself, and you also need to invest in your business. So, from investing in your business to investing in yourself, and then marketing, they're the things that I really want to get across to you today. To get from where you are today to where you want to be, it's going to take marketing. It's going to take strategic marketing, not necessarily lots of marketing. You'll never hear me say you have to do lots of marketing. You just have to do strategic marketing. So don't think, Jen, I don't have any time to do more marketing. No, no, we just need to have a look at the strategy you're using now. It's going to take you being clear on what you want, what income streams you have, or need to develop, to help you reach your goals for 2024. First of all, you've got to set some goals for 2024. I really hope that that is one of the first things that you do. It's going to take you being clear, also on what you don't want and what you're willing to let go of or outsource in 2024. Again, that investment, what do you need to invest in? One of the questions that I asked during my planning sessions is, what do I never ever want to do again that I did this year? And if I can never do it and make it disappear, that's great. If I never want to do it again, but it's still necessary, then I have to find someone who's willing to do that job for me. So whether or not you join me on Tuesday, the 21st of November, or set some time aside yourself, you just must plan. Please, Pinky, promise me you will do some planning for 2024. And like I said at the start, those business who failed to plan until now, like the ones that have swanned through business till now, will go into 2024 with a real disadvantage and find the year more difficult than it should be if only they had a plan. So, some action steps from this podcast just before we finish up today is set aside some time to do some planning or join me for my virtual planning day if it suits you. Check out Tracy Sheehan's free webinar, AI and You in 2024. Embrace marketing. If you're not quite sure about different marketing strategies, buy my book or watch some YouTube videos or listen to some more of my podcasts or read some of my blogs. Just embrace marketing because it's what's going to get you through next year. It's what's going to help you thrive next year. And of course, in order to do it all, you need to work out where your income's going to come from. And, you've got your goals. Now, how are you going to earn the money to reach those goals? And what are you going to do? How is marketing going to help you reach those goals? They're all the big questions to ask yourself. And of all the things you can be as a small business owner, please be an action taker. Just take some action. Whether you set aside an hour, 2 hours a day, I'm going to go away for a couple of days, I think towards the end of November with a couple of my friends. And we're going to, again, go through our strategic plans and just make sure that they are, run them past somebody else. Make sure they're actually going to work the way we hope they will work. So be an action taker. That is my one goal for you today. But that's it. Episode 268 or 269, I think it is. I hope that you got something out of this episode. I hope that I've made you start at least thinking about what 2024 can look like. If you can join me for my virtual planning day, go and buy your ticket now. $37 might be the best money you spend all November. But that's it. I've only got 6 episodes to go until the end of 2023. Can you believe it? Oh, anyway, if we're not hanging out on social, come and find me on social media. You can find me on just about any platform. Let's hang out there. But whatever you do, remember, my small business peep, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.